Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Going through the divination seance. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Oh, that's right, because he hadn't seen it before. Around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. Grapes, incense, sour. Okay. Oops. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. Footsteps. Those are his own footsteps, right? Subordinate's voice. Incense. A call from a subordinate at the palace. Lion's roar. Dog's bark. What? You're stabbed. Why is there a lion's roar? But he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. An explosion. That one's weird too. Hold on. Alright, where's... Oh, wait, no, back. Do you want lions roar or dogs bark? That's weird, right? Although that... Oh, I bet that gives us a clue as to that's who he's talking to.
Objection!
I hate to break it to your benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again? Smooth move, Apollo. I think you just hurt her feelings. You may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Let me rephrase that, your benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to a subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? A lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? You claim the call was with someone at the palace. Oh, you think about that? I was just like, why is there a lion's roar? But let me ask you, do you keep lions there? No. The animals at the palace are little birdies and my pet frog. Wait, that giant one in front of the minister's house is her pet? Oh, did I miss it? Did I miss it? I don't remember the frog. Besides, there aren't any lions in Khura'in. We don't even have any zoos. Rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Focus. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the phone is actually from something hanging out in... the jungle. The bazaar, right? Wasn't there that the warbad was it a bird? Isn't that the cry of the warbad over in the bazaar? Yes! Huh. Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Well, now attempt to further refine my vision. Warbad's cry, okay. What's this? Just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbad. That means the subordinate Minister Inga was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What significance could it have? He's right. Is it important to know where the call was made from? I feel like it's helpful. It's information. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means that the loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Go ahead, Apollo. Tell her. Tell Rafa the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, we're dead. I'm waiting. true source of that explosive sound? It was my dad playing guitar. There's no pad. We figure out why he had this? I don't remember. Picture taken around 2 p.m. of the channeling rite. Melody act of the Queen. Oh, wait. Because didn't Dats throw one? Dats threw one. Yep, okay.
Take that.
What's that? It's "I'll be your guide" statement. In it, he claims that Dats a rebel threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. Then, yes, the sound heard over the phone was a firecracker exploding. Huh.
Objection.
What? Yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. Bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? Well, we don't know whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that proves when the pistol was discharged? No, I have none. Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... No, it can't be. Oh, it can. And it is. The laugh came from none other than... the Joker, who got a kick out of startling Albie with his dragon snot snaps. The happy-go-lucky Dats a rebel. What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, HAPW. Y'all can thank me later. Actually, that helps. No one asked for your commentary, Mr. Rebel. Your benevolence, you need to revise your insight. It appears so. Oh, Dats. Took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. True source of the loud bang was the firecracker Dats threw. The final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. This changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rafa's insight again. Okay. I think I've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. Around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. My father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. Catch up real quick. Subordinate's voice. More bats cried. Dogs bark. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. The true source of the loud bang was a firecracker Dats threw. Final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Explosion, laughter. Okay, so we've explained the laughter, but what was the explosion? Around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. Father then took a call from a subordinate at the bazaar. The next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. The source of that loud bang was a firecracker Dats threw. The final laugh belonged to none other than Dats himself. Okay, so we don't know that it was actually fired. Explosion. And we don't know for laughter. That part is explained. I don't understand. Alright, let's just watch the things. Incense, okay, makes sense. Footsteps. Subordinate's voice. Warbats cry, dogs bark. What time? I feel like there's something with the time here. Because this wasn't at 3 p.m. But it couldn't have been 2 p.m. either. I'm so confused. And death is approximately 3 p.m. A diagram of the crime scene. Amar's sarcophagus is in the very center of the room. Back with the knife. Is... diamond-shaped tattoo on his forehead. Hair, eye patch, blue clothes. Dado was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the courtyard and stole Nana's hat. Feel so lost. Like, there's something wrong with the time, but I don't remember what. I wish I had all the stuff from Rafa's testimony. I think that would help right now. We showed up at 2:45. If I could just remember what that explosion is. What exploded? Why can't I remember that? I don't think that was from the phone. Dogs bark. Or wait, this would have all been at 2 o'clock, right? That's what it is. Right?
Objection!
Okay. Your benevolence. There's a glaring problem with this insight. Oh my god, stop it. There is. You stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived on the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. I suppose I have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.? This.
Take that!
I'll be your guide's statement again. Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m.? That's right, 2 p.m., not 3 p.m. Huh. Suggesting. I think you know where I'm going with this. Datz's laugh, the cry of the warbad, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, what this vision shows is that it's extremely likely that the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3 as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Balkanka! How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Yes. Ooh. Heh. Now you see why justice will always prevail. Got him. Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you that the figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. After all, the figure didn't actually have a face. You're absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain of who it was. Furthermore, need I remind you that if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means that this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then, what are we to make of this 1 hour difference? Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when my mother was performing the rite of channeling. Palace guard said all had been reassigned to guard the channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me. Royal residence would have been virtually unguarded. Which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying? Someone disguised as the accused? That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty. Preposterous. Disguises cannot deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been clear as day. He's got a point there. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? Apollo. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold, because they knew their face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. What? It's possible the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga, precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how could anyone be so sure of something like that? A long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder that impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. What if Inga had it? Yes! Then are you saying that this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. If he had that disorder, I imagine this is how faces appeared to him in this life. Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk, but... Learning about how to prove that Inga had it, you already have what you need. Yes, I do! Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show this court? I do! Oh my god, I called this! Thank you, 999. Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look the evidence over again. Because I'd never heard of that disorder before, playing that. What explains why the face of Mr. Inga's killer is absent in his seance vision? Inga's notepad! Notepad? Yes, it was found in Minister Inga's room, and it holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer, how? The vision we saw was exactly what Minister Inga saw with his own eyes. It is who he saw his killer as a person without a... It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how he normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Minister Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. It would explain the faceless being and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. About it? My father was always terrible at remembering people. Seemed like a hairstyle he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? He never wished for it to... He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But I suppose there's no use in keeping quiet about it now. It is as you say. My late husband had a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. So Mr. Wright was right. Memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. Precedent for this. So the killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Right, so there's someone who is both knowledgeable about the divination seance and aware of Inga's affliction. Your Eminence, who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs, and me. Surely you're not about to insinuate that I committed this crime. Oh, no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it? Ron has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2. Was she? In that case... Your Eminence, does Nina know about Minister Inga's disorder? She does. She's our head servant. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition, and as the princess's personal attendant, she is familiar with the divination seance. If these two facts together don't make her a possible suspect, I don't know what would. Witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts. Facts like... Inga was last seen alive. You claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. Arifa saw him at 2:30. Right. Completely forget about that. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could have only happened at 3 p.m. The hour Dirk entered the tomb. There's no other answer to this puzzle. Ugh. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Garad makes up laws? Guess it's back to square one. Not necessarily. Well, where did we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. You see, and without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Apollo, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be impossible to see Inga walking around after he'd been killed, but what if there's a way to make people think he was alive even though he was dead? Weekend at Inga's! Way to make people witness the living dead? Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. They do! Apollo, did you just... I did! I figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. I certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Minister Inga, her benevolence saw, was in fact a ghost or a clone. Channeling. It was the deceased being channeled. It's the only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence. Channeled, you say? That's right, and there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Khura'in. Her Eminence Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. It seems that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Prosecutor, what was I doing at 2:30, the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence? I believe believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there, too. Mita has to keep up with her schedule, too. What doesn't she make him do? That leaves only Maya. Yeah, it does. Does it? Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. Yes! That cannot be. So that Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked back up for him after he died. So Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he'd just had a nightmare. Then, realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead. Then, Benevolence really did see a dead man running. Hey. Ah! Using Seeker's power of spirit channeling to commit a crime? How can this be? The defense calls Miss Maya Fey to the stand. Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness? It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. You'll notice how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments. Insult me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. Very well, let us adjourn until the next witness is ready. Oh. Perfect. Alright, cool. To be continued. Alright, we'll leave it there. Alright. That makes sense, and that would explain how Maya got in there. Because I was wondering about it. I was like, where did Maya end up in all this? I mean, she could have been put in there at any time. But still. Alright, we're getting there. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion of this. Hope you are as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.